Good evening, good evening, my brothers and sisters. How you doing today? This is your brother Tony. So come on in, come on in. We got something good. We got a good treat today. Come in and into the dinner table because it's dinner time. So I can give you some good food for your soul. And the type of food I'm going to give to your soul, my brother and sister, you know where I come from. I talk about relationships. I talk strongly about relationships because when everything is said and done, my brother and sister, it comes down to relationships. But specifically, I talk about the relationship of first a man should have a unique relationship with God. Then secondly, then the woman, she should have a unique relationship with God. Thirdly, that man and woman, if they decide to embark on a relationship, that man and woman, they should come together and they should have the Lord in the middle of their relationship. So come on in, brothers. Come on in, sister. It is dinner time. We got something good on the menu, and I know that you will really, really enjoy it. How you doing, sister Joanne Hill? I see you at the dinner table. I see you, John Hancock. And I would like to tell you, brother and sister, that are at the dinner table right now. I would like for you to know we got other family members. And when I say other family members, if you are, I'm on two different platforms. I'm on the book and I'm on the tube. If you are on the book and I talk to someone during the course of our dinner, the ones on the tube, you won't see them, okay? Basically, you won't. So, but if you're on the tube and I make a comment to you, those of you that are on the book, you may not see it, but I see the comments from both platforms. Okay, so I would like for you, brothers and sisters, to be aware. We got a big family. Okay, we got a big family. So come on in. I would like for you all to sit down, get ready for this good meal. I hope that you haven't gotten anything that's going to affect your appetite. And when I say your appetite, I'm talking about your souls, my brother. I'm talking about your souls, my sister. If this is your first time being invited to the dinner table, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tony M. Toomer, and I speak on relationship. When I talk about relationships, I talk primarily from a biblical perspective. When I say biblical, I believe strongly that the relationship is between a man and a woman with God in the middle. Why do I say that? When you go to the book of Genesis, the man Adam, he had a unique relationship with God. Secondly, the woman Eve, she had a unique relationship with God. Thirdly, God represented the woman to the man, and in the presence of God, the man Adam said, "Bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh." I should call a woman because she came from man. And so it is, and so it was. So that's the type of relationship that I talk about. Now, if you are into another type of relationship, you have what is called a free will. But I encourage you to still sit here at the dinner table because we got some good soul food, and I would like to share our soul food with you, my brothers and sisters. Okay, so get ready because it's going to be very nutritional. When I say your souls, my brother and sister, I'm talking about your mind, your will, and your emotions. How you doing, Sister Kirkpatrick? Welcome to the dinner table. With that said, my brother and sister, we are about to get ready to eat. And when I say get ready to eat, we're going to look at the menu. And what's on the menu for tonight? On the menu tonight, we're going to discuss 7 signs a man is serious about a woman. This should be a good one tonight, my brothers and sisters. And again, on the menu tonight is seven, it's seven signs that a man is serious about a woman. Now, there are a lot of women that are out there and they're wondering, they might be in a state of confusion whether or not a man is serious about them. Some men, they're very slick and it's kind of hard to pinpoint them. And then there are some men that will be transparent and they will let you know so you would know whether or not to embark on a relationship with that man. So, brother, this is for you. And some of you brothers, when I say brother, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, sisters, I want you to open up your ears so you can hear what I'm about to talk about. No, not here. I want you to listen. I want you to listen to what I'm talking about. Now, when I talk, my brother and sister, I talk to men and women at the dinner table. I am not biased to men. I'm not biased to women, because when it comes to a relationship, it takes the man and woman plus God in it. That's the complete relationship, okay? But sometimes the content that I talk about, I may lean more to one gender than the other sometimes, but it's for you brothers and it's for you sisters. So we about to jump in. And those of you that are coming in on the dinner table tonight, the topic is 7 signs a man is serious about a woman. Now, when it comes to a man being serious about a particular woman, it's a particular woman, a unique woman, he has to come to the point whereas he has to stay at the candy shop. That's right. A man got to come to himself and say, I need to stay at the candy shop. I know some of you probably saying, Tony, where you going with this? I'm glad you asked that question. What do I mean by candy shop? Now, when it comes to a candy shop, my brother and sister, you know, when, like, say, for example, you go into a candy shop, right? And what is a candy shop? It has nothing but candy in it. So when you walk into a candy shop, you see some of this good candy, you see some of this good candy. It's different shapes, it get different texture, it's different flavor, but we're in the candy shop. How you doing, Sister Deborah Scott? So when a man is serious about a woman, figuratively speaking, he has to come out of the candy shop. What does the candy shop represent? The candy shop represent women in general. What it represents, women in general. What happens if you eat too much candy? It tastes good and sweet, but there's a limitation. And if a man go overboard and eat too much candy, what is going to happen? It tastes good at the beginning. And the more you consume, you're going to get to the point where something should resonate in your mind. I need to stop because it's going to hurt me. If you don't want to go to the dentist, you do not need to eat a whole bunch of candy, because what's going to happen? You're going to eventually, my brother, you're going to eventually get what is called a cavity. And when you get a cavity, you're going to have to end up going to the dentist to get the tooth pulled or teeth pulled. So I'm using this as an example, brothers. When it comes time to deal with a particular woman, you got to come out the candy shop. Too much candy is not good for you. So with that said, my brother and sister, let me tell you this. Originally, listen to me carefully. Originally, God never designed for a man to take on a lot of women. He never designed that. Now, some of you are saying, well, Tony, I see in God's word where King David had a lot of wives. I seen in God's word where his son Solomon had a lot of wives. I seen different parts in the Bible where men had a lot of wives. If God did not had no problem with it, why he allowed for men to have more than one wife? That's what God did. He allowed men to do that, but that's not his will. Because why do I say that? When you go back to the Garden of Eden, he gave Adam only one woman, which was Eve, his wife. If God chose to, he could have made more than one woman. So when you go to the original text in Genesis, God actually designed for a man to be serious basically with one woman. So what caused a man to want to deal with more than one woman? I'm glad you asked. Majority of the time when a man asks for more than one woman, how you doing, Sister Kirkpatrick? I think I spoke to you. When a man normally deal with more than one woman, a lot of time, my brother and sister, it normally comes down to what we call lust. That's why a lot of men, they desire a lot of women. A lot of men, they look at women as a smorgasbord. So that's why a lot of men, they like to deal with a lot of women. I should know, because I got caught in the candy shop too much. And when I got caught in the candy shop, my brothers and sisters, it was not good for me. I had to go to the dentist. When I said the dentist, I had to go and pay the consequences for staying in the candy shop too much. So I'm telling you now, brothers, do stay out the candy shop. If you want to get serious with one woman, you got to leave all that other candy alone. Even though it's sweet, even though it's good, even though it feel good going down, too much candy is not good for you. Now, why did I say God never designed for a man to have more than one woman? The reason why God did not design a man to be serious with more than one woman, because God knew man had limitations. If a man had more than one woman in his life, women, they have different attitudes, they go through emotional changes, and brother, if you're trying to it's not feasible. It's not wise to deal with a lot of women. And we got one man that I'm about to talk about, and I'm going to give you an example why you shouldn't do it. One of the main reasons why a man should only be serious with one woman, and he needs to know that woman. And there are 7 parts that I'm going to expound out, explain to you why a man needs to invest basically in one woman. Now, why am I saying it? Because when a man deal with more than one woman, and I have said it before, I'm going to say it right now. When a man deal with more than one woman, it's taxing on the man's mind. It's taxing on the man's emotions. It's taxing on the man's body, and it's taxing on the man financially. How you doing, my little sister Renee? Welcome to the dinner table. Now, again, those of you that are coming in on the menu tonight, we'll talk about 7 signs a man is serious about a woman. Again, it's not wise for a man to try to get a lot of women. And like I said, I'm using myself for example, because I have tried that before, my brother and sister. Yes, I have tried that before, and I have told you brothers and sisters this before. So it's nothing new. I have tried it, and I have nothing close to what King Solomon had. So God doesn't want a man to deal with a lot of women, because it comes down first to a spiritual thing. Remember, I said it could be taxing on a man's mind. It could be taxing on a man's emotions. It could be taxing on a man's body and financially. But the real main thing, it could be a spiritual conflict. And God does not want a man dealing with a woman or women that believe in other things, primarily on a spiritual level. It starts in the spiritual world, and then it manifests itself to the soul, and it comes out in the natural world. Now, one guy that I'm about to talk to you all about is King Solomon. We're going to talk about King Solomon briefly, and we're going to talk about the mishap that King Solomon had. Now, we're going to First Kings. It's in God's word. It's First King 1 through 25. It's First King 1 through 25, 1 through 25, but I'm not going to read all of it. But I'm going to read something, because I got to expound to you what I'm talking about, okay? Now, when we go to King Solomon, let me give you a little brief history on King Solomon. King Solomon's father was King David. King David was the second king of Israel. Solomon was David's son through Bathsheba. As we know, Solomon's father David, he had more than one wife, and he had some more women. So let me start right there. A lot of times too, a man on a subconscious level, he could get a lot of cues from his daddy. If a man observed that his daddy was dealing with more than one woman, it can actually influence the man. I'm telling you, if a man or woman, if a woman sees that her mother deal with several men, she may be inclined to deal with several men, because what you see a lot of time, it could influence your behavior. Now, not all the time, but it can influence your behavior. How you doing, Sister Douglas? So we're going to go into a deep dive on King Solomon. Now, King Solomon, he was the second son from David and Bathsheba. Now, King Solomon, he in the Bible, he is called the wisest man to ever live. There's not one man before Solomon. There's not one man while Solomon was living. And there will never be one man that rise up and be wise as Solomon. What does wise mean? Wise means the ability to see things from God's point of view. Now, there are a lot of men that have seen things from God's point of view. There are a lot of women that have seen things from God's point of view. But what Solomon had, he's the only man to have that. Solomon had wisdom. Solomon had it all. When you look at the world standard, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, them, Jay-Z, them with the billion, they classified a billionaire. LeBron James classified a billionaire. Michael Jordan, billionaire. None of them guys, you put all their resources together, could not stand up on Solomon. And Solomon, not only that, Solomon ruled the kingdom. None of these guys that I'm talking to you about, they don't rule a kingdom. None of these guys has the wisdom that Solomon had. And none of these guys had the number of women Solomon had. Now, how many women did Solomon have? I have said it before, and it's a God word. Solomon did not have 100 women. Solomon did not have 200 women. Solomon did not have 300 women. Solomon did not have 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900. No, Solomon had 1,000 women. Now, you think I'm exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating. King Solomon had 1,000 women. He could not be serious with one. There's no way a man could be serious with all those women, because you have to compromise. One of the women think you're not giving them enough time, and all this, you can't please a whole bunch of women. You stretching it when you get to two. And the more women you bring into your life, brother, the more you're going to be stressed out. They're going to stress your mind out, because one going to be saying this in your ear, one going to be saying that, one going to be saying this, and one going to be saying that. So you turning from woman to woman to woman, trying to please them. And what a man going to do? If a man trying to calm a woman down, he's going to do whatever it takes to please a woman. So what will it do? That means when a man compromise, a lot of time it's going to start in the spiritual world. With the spiritual world, again, we talk about King Solomon. He was not serious when it comes to women. So I'm about to read a little insert about King Solomon, and this is what it has. This is where King Solomon messed up. I'm going to read it. Keep in mind, this is where King Solomon messed up. It said, but King Solomon, check it out. It said, King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughters of Pharaoh. Women are Moabite, Ammonite, Ammonite, Zionite, and Hittites. Now, here's the crucial thing. It said, of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, you shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you, for surely they will turn your heart away after their gods. So the Lord had warned all the Israelites, do not deal with people that don't believe in me, because they got different beliefs and they're going to change your mind. If they change Solomon's mind, my brother, they will change your mind. Sister, if a man is into another type of belief, he will change your mind. None of us had the wisdom of Solomon, but we got Solomon as the poster or man or poster boy of what not to do. And this is a good example of not being serious with God, and you're not serious, brother, when it comes to a woman. Now, again, it said, the Lord said unto the children of Israel, you shall not go unto them, neither shall they come into you, for surely they would turn your hearts after their God. So then it says, Solomon cleave unto these in love. So not only did Solomon kick against what God said, it says Solomon cleaved to them in love. He loved all these women. How he did, I don't know. But the Bible said he loved them. Solomon loved these women more than he loved God. So when Solomon loved these women and he was warned, all the Israelites were warned. And today, my brother and sister, if you are a follower of Christ, Christ do not want you to be unequally yoked with an unbeliever. And that's what King Solomon, he was dealing with a lot of women that they were unbelievers. They believe in God, but they believe in their own God. And to go on with it, said, and he had, listen to this, and he, that being Solomon, had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines. And his wife turned away his heart. For it came to pass when Solomon was old, he was a wise old man, and his wife turned away his heart after gods. And his heart was not perfect with the Lord, his God, as the heart of his father David. For Solomon, he went after different goddesses. He did a lot of abomination. And the Bible said, and Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord. Now, how did Solomon do evil in the sight of the Lord? He did evil when he turned away from the God, and he caused the Lord to get jealous. Because remember, God said, I'm a jealous God. And Solomon was going after these fake gods and stuff, and that kind of teed the Lord off. Because the Lord have given Solomon so many things, and he turned his back on Solomon. How you doing, Sister Yolanda? Case in point, brother and sister, how would you feel if the person that you was in a relationship with started turning his or her attention to another man or woman? You wouldn't like it, and you would get jealous. You would get jealous, especially if you were doing a lot for that man or woman. You will get jealous. Even God get jealous, and we made in the image and glory of God. So it's natural that you're probably going to get jealous, my brother, if that woman turned her attention to another man, or sister, if that man turned his attention to another woman. But we'll talk about a man right at this moment. And again, it say, and Solomon, he did a whole bunch of stuff, and it said, and Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord, and he did not fully invest in the Lord like his father David. Then Solomon, he built on a high place in Chilman, he did a whole bunch of things that really kept pissing the Lord off. And likewise, he did all this with his strange wife. He burnt incense and sacrificed unto this God. And the Bible said, and the Lord got angry with Solomon because his heart turned away from the Lord God of Israel, which appeared unto him twice and had commanded him concerning these things. So the Lord warned King Solomon to stop. But Solomon got invested with these other women because of political reasons, and the main thing, Solomon had lust. He was not serious with all these women. He was trying to satisfy all these women. How you doing, Sister Parker? Welcome to the dinner table. And how you doing, Sister Cynthia? Welcome to the dinner table. So Solomon is the poster child for trying to be with other women, but he kept not with the Lord commanded. Wherefore, the Lord said unto Solomon, now the Lord is really pissed off. He's mad at Solomon. Now the Lord is talking like he will be talking to you, brother. If you don't do right when it comes to a woman, when you're trying to collect a whole bunch of women, their belief you're going to compromise, brother. None of us, brother, have the type of wisdom Solomon had. But Solomon got hoodwinked. And I'm telling you this too, brother, if you deal with a whole bunch of women, you're going to try to make them happy. And when you try to make them happy, they're going to pull your heart away from God because you're going to be compromising. You're going to have to be looking all around you, especially if you're real deceptive. You're going to try not to run into that one. You're going to try to keep them apart unless you got this arrangement like King Solomon, where these my wife, because you know a lot of men these days, even in the United States of America, they claiming a lot of women that are their wives that stay all together. You got this one man, and he got several women that he called his wife, and they all in agreement. But even a man that has several women living up on his roof, he doesn't love them all on the same level. There's no way possible for a man to love a women if it go beyond one. There's no way that a man can love all those women on the same level. Somebody going to be left out. And the more women a man get, the more they're going to try to get his attention. But it's not possible. He can give you attention every now and then, but he cannot give you full attention. And I see someone coming in. How you doing? You got Facebook users, but I don't know what your name, but welcome, Facebook user. So come in. So those of you that are at dinner table, we're talking about the topic, 7 signs a man is serious about a woman. King Solomon's series. So it said, and the Lord was angry with Solomon because his heart turned away from the Lord of Israel, which he had appeared to twice. And he commanded concerning these things that you should not go to other gods, but he kept not which the Lord commanded. He rebelled against the Lord. It said, wherefore the Lord said unto Solomon, for as much as you have done this, the Lord finna come down on, and thou have not kept my covenant or my commandment or will, my statutes, which I commanded thee, I will surely rent the kingdom from thee, and I will give it to thy servant. Notwithstanding, in thy day I will not do it, for my servant David's sake, your father, but I will rent it from the hands of your son. How about I will not rent away all the kingdom, but will give one tribe to thy son for David, my servant's sake, and Jerusalem's sake, which I have chosen. And the Lord stirred up an adversary unto Solomon. Now, what does it mean the Lord stirred up an adversary to Solomon? It meant when Solomon disobeyed the Lord, and he disobeyed the Lord, and he was going after all these women, and he wasn't serious about them. The Lord had warned him. He warned him twice, and he warned him twice in a dream. Can you imagine that? The Lord come to you twice in a dream and tell you to stop. The Lord of glory, just think of it, brother. The Lord appear in your dream and he tell you to stop doing something. And you know it's him. Think about this, sister. The Lord appeared to you in your dream and he point blank tell you to stop. Not only one time, but 2 times. And if you're playing baseball and you miss that ball 3 times, you out, right? So on that 3rd time, the God will coming down on King Solomon, and he stirred up adversaries against Solomon. You see, Solomon he was at peace with all those other nations, but the history, his father David had taken some land from all these people. So what the Lord did, the Lord stirred up these men's heart to go after Solomon. And they took a whole bunch of the kingdom when Solomon's son came into reign. But they couldn't take all of it while Solomon was alive. So they took it through Solomon's son. Generational curse. Now we're going back to the main topic. When a woman encounters a man, she must do 3 things. And what are those 3 things? She must ask herself this question: is he saved? Secondly, she must ask herself, what does he want from me? Thirdly, she needs to say, how does he make me feel and what do I think about him? So the number 1 question again, she got to know, is he saved? If he's not saved, strike 1. Then it goes to what does he want? And that's why I always tell women, when a man approach you, sister, you need to say a private prayer to God and say, what is this man motive? Why is he talking to me? And then fourthly, what do you feel? And what do you think? You see, you're going to start feeling and thinking based on God's spirit in you, and it's going to prompt you. It's going to give you red flags, or it's going to give you a sense of peace. That's what you have to understand. So when God's spirit taught you, sister, when a man come up to you, it's going to be disturbed, and it's going to be unsettling. That means that's a warning. That's a red flag. If you have peace and you use your discernment that God give you, that might be the man that God wants a cause to find you, because he strategically put you in the right place. Now, when it comes to a man encounter a woman, a man must ask himself this question. He need to ask this. When he see a woman, a man need to say, is she saved? That's what a man need to ask himself. And second, a man need to say, can I see adding her to my life and my life purpose? That's what a man need to ask himself. First of all, is she saved? And can I see this woman as contributing to my life? Can I see this woman as being my wife? And third, the man must ask himself, can I make her heart smile? It's impressive when a woman smile at you with a face, but it's more impressive if a man could cause a woman hard to smile, because a woman is emotional. And if a man could cause a woman hard to smile and she start trusting in him and he's a straight up brother, that woman, she is going to really invest into the relationship because she knows that the man is serious with her. Which leads to, we're about to get to the topic now. 7 signs a man is serious about a woman. Number 1, sister, if a man is serious about you, he is going to let you know straight up that he's looking for a wife. If he's serious about you, sister, he's going to let you know his intentions. How you doing, Sister Flo? Sister Flo, you're at the dinner table. Tonight's on the menu, 7 signs a man is serious about a woman. And you happen to come in when we made the number 1 point. He let the woman know that he desires to be married, particularly to her. So, sister, if a man bring up the topic marriage, you need to use some type of innovation and say something like, okay, you looking for a woman to get married to. Then, sister, this is what you need to be on point. You need to ask that man, if you say that you're looking for a wife to marry, do you foresee me being a wife? And if he say, and I've said it before, and if he say, yes, I foresee you being a wife, and then if he said, I foresee you being a wife, then you screenline it. Then you say, okay, if you see me being a wife, do you foresee me being your wife? You see, you done move from A to now personal. You see, he could say, I see you being a wife, that's not personal. But when you move it to your wife, that's getting personal. So the man, he would give you his desire that he's ready to marry you. That is when a man is serious. So a man go through a mental process like you sister, you all go through the emotional process because we all have souls. And that's why we're at the dinner table talking about this particular topic. So when a man desires to marry a woman, he's going to be forthcoming. He's not going to be playing no head game with the woman. He's not going to be putting that woman through no unnecessary tests. He's not going to be stressing the woman out. He's going to be a man of character. His word is his bond. And sister, when this man is serious about him, you're going to see whereas his words going to match his actions. He's not going to say one thing and do another. You're going to see some consistency in this man's word. And his action, because this man letting you know, I see you as my wife. That's what you got to get to, sister. Do you see me as your wife? If he just come up to you, that's what you got to say. Well, do you see me as your wife? And if a man see you as his wife, the second thing he's going to do, what he will not do, if a man is serious about you, he's not going to, first of all, number 2, he's not going to be on the forefront desiring to get in your pants. If a man is serious about you and you say, well, if you think about having intercourse with me, I'm not with that right now. At that particular time, if this man's saying, if you say, if you put straight up, sister, look, I'm not into that intercourse thing right now. At that time, this could break or make a relationship. If a man is really serious about you and you put out a proclamation or a statement like that, he's going to stick with you. He's not going to put no pressure on you. He's not going to say nothing like, if you love me, you would do this with me. He's not going to use those kind of lines. Worldly men use that kind of line. Even, sister, if you are, this is a sticky point. Some of you, sister, you already have children. Some of you, sister, have children and you never been married. Some of you, sister, have been married and you have children. Some of you, sister, married and you have children by different men. Just like some men, they have children by different women if they single. And some married men, they have children with their wife or they divorce or whatever. But let me tell you this, sister. Mostly worldly men. Let me tell you what goes on in the mind of a worldly man right here. If you have a child, and let's talk about it from a single perspective. If you have a child meaning singular, and this man come to you and he trying to get in your pants, and you say, look, I'm not doing that. I'm not like that no more. Let me tell you what worldly men think. Worldly men think, that's right, Sister Cynthia, a worldly Christian man. Worldly men think if they see evidence of one child and you single, you never been married, but if they see that you got a child, in their mind, I'm being honest with you, sister. I'm trying to open you up to the mind of a worldly man. He's gonna be thinking, if you got a child, that means that you have been physically intimate with a man. And if you've been physically intimate with a man, why do I have to wait? That's what some men be thinking. And some men be bold enough to come out and say, well, why you can't do this with me? I see that you got a child, which means that you're not a virgin. And some men, they'll bring that kind of stuff up. You're not a virgin. So why do I have to wait? How you doing, Sister Cheryl Smith? And then another thing too, you sisters, let's say that you have more than one child. Not only do you have a child, you have more than one child. Now, let's say you have a child by different men. In a worldly man mind that's not serious about you, and he come to you and he see that you got children by different men. In his mind, he gonna think, and then you say, I'm not going that way no more. I have changed my life. A worldly man gonna be thinking, why you want to change your life now? You got more than one child by different men, and now you want me to wait. That's how some men will play you, sisters. And what they're trying to do is cause you to get a guilt trip, and they're trying to get you to bring the bar down. But let me tell you this, sister. If you are single and you have a child or children by a man or men, and you got into Christ, it's just like you're a virgin all over again. Because whatever you did in the past, Christ is not going to move those children, because Christ gave life to those children, even though you got them the incorrect way. Christ is not going to judge you like that, because he cleansed you. But worldly men, they're not going to look at it that way. They're going to look at the fact is you got a child or children by other men, so why do I have to wait? And at that particular time, sister, if a man is not serious about you, he's going to leave you. And some of you, sister, that should bring joy to you. Why do I say that should bring joy to you? How you doing, Sister Cynthia? Or why should that bring joy to you? It should bring joy to you because you did not allow yourself to be used. Because if you would have gave in to that man and he wasn't serious about you, he would. Let me tell you about how some worldly men would do. Some worldly men, they would even go in their pocket just to get you on your back. They will play the good man, but in their mind, they're in not. Let me tell you something, sister. A lot of men, I'm just being real with you. A lot of men, they have this complex. I don't want to get in no relationship with no woman that got a child or children and they're not mine. A lot of guys think that way. A lot of them. Even a lot of guys that think I don't want to be involved with a woman that got a child or children. A lot of these guys are hypocrites. Why do I say they're hypocrite? Because they got a child or children. And probably by different women. But that's the hypocrisy, especially in the Western world. And some men think that way. Of a whole bunch of men that are hypocrites. Because they'll say something like, she's for the streets. But they're not looking at their former lifestyle. Now, a worldly man could have 10 children by 10 different men. A woman, she could have, and I'm talking about a woman of God, she could have 3 children and never been married. But that worldly man, he got 10 children by 10 different women, and you got 3 children. You could have 3 children by one man, but you've never been married. Or you can have children by different men. That man that got 10 children, he is still going to look at you in a hypocrisy way. Most men do that. Most men, I'm telling you, most men do not want to think that a woman been with another man. Most men, listen to this, my sister, most men, a lot of them got unrealistic expectation. Most men could have a sinful past and been with many women. They can't count them. But they want to get married to a woman that's a virgin. When I say a virgin, a woman that never had intercourse before. But they could have had a history of a lot of women and children. There's a lot of men that think that way. It's hypocrisy. And they will throw that stuff on you. They're not serious about you. And let me tell you again about some worldly men, sister. Some worldly men, they will play the long game with you. What is the long game, Brother Tony? Okay, this is the long game. You tell this man, sister, I'm not going to do that physical stuff because I'd change my life. And then some men, they will say, okay, we ain't got to do nothing. This is when they really show they fame because they wolves. They will say, okay, we ain't got to do nothing. But they will still date you and they will come around you, but they still sleeping with other women. So I want to tell you this, sister, the old wolf guys, just because they hang around you and they accept what you said, that doesn't mean that they stop being with other women. They just playing the long game with you. Because in their mind, they thinking they're going to get you one day. They think that if I keep hanging around her, if I keep saying these sweet words, or she become vulnerable, I'm going to eventually get her on her back. So some guys play the long game. Let me tell you this, sister. Some guys, they will play the long game for 25 years. And they be with other women, but they say they want you. And some of these worldly men that's not serious about you, they would tell you stuff like, why don't you spend the night with me? I'm not going to bother you. Some of you sisters, you have heard these lines before. I'm not going to bother you. We could sleep in the same bed, or I sleep on the sofa, or whatever, but we ain't no do nothing. But some of you sisters know by experience that when you try to do this, these same guys that said they won't try to bother you, you get in their bed and your intent is to, and a lot of you sisters, you have fooled yourselves. You have fooled yourself thinking that this man is not going to try nothing. Most men can try it. Now, most men, it'll be hard for them. It'll be hard, but some will try to hold back. But sister, you single sister, when you decide to spend the night with a man and you get in his bed and he get close to you and he starts spooning you, you'll know what I mean. He spoon you, you laying on your side and he get close to you and throw his arm around you and you're going to feel something close to your backside. You're going to feel some type of movement by your backside. So if you feel some type of movement by your backside, what is that telling you? It's telling you that that man want to monkey dance with you. That's what it's telling you. Sister Yolanda said, you're right. They say, I just want to hold you. I'm not going to try it. No, that's right. Sister Yolanda know what I'm talking about. And a lot of you other sisters, you know what I'm talking about, because you have been in that position before. And a lot of you sisters, you fool yourself. You really think that man could do it. Now, some of you probably have been in a situation where the man didn't bother you. That don't mean that it didn't come to his mind. And then there are some of you sisters, you have invited a man over to your house. You have said, okay, you can spend the night, but you got to sleep on the sofa. And when the man sleep on the sofa, then you'll come in, you'll be in your room, and he'll be on the sofa. He trying to play the good boy. He'll be on the sofa. You'll be in your room, and you in your room, and you got your hand between your leg and rubbing your legs, and you turning and tossing in the bed because you thinking about that man, right? And then he on the sofa, he turning and tossing on the sofa. Then he hear you come. You get up out of your bed and you fooling yourself again, saying, well, I think I can let him lay in my bed, and I don't think he ain't gonna do nothing. He's a respectable man. So you go into the living room or wherever he at, or he could be in another room. You may have a bed in another room, and you come in there and say, hey, you promise if you come and get in the bed with me, we won't do nothing. And he said, no, we ain't got to do nothing. So he happy and you happy, but you know what's about to probably go down when he get in your bed. So he get in your bed and you all start talking about stuff, right? You start talking about things, and when you start talking about things, then y'all lock eyes together. You all know exactly what I'm talking about. You start locking your eyes together. And when you start, you might be laughing and playing and talk about different things, but then it's that lockout thing. You lock eyes, right? And when you lock eyes, and he start looking at your lips, and you start looking at his lips, right? And y'all looking in each other's eyes. Then one of you, more than likely, it's going to be him. He's going to move up, and he's going to kiss you. You may show a little resistance, and then again, you may not show no resistance, okay? So he kissed you. So when this man is kissing you, your body is going through changes. His body is going through changes. Then y'all start funneling each other. More than likely, he's going to start funneling you. And then, or some of you may start funneling the man. And the next thing you know, what you said, it start happening. And when this start happening, and when it's over with, you may feel like you want to kick yourself in your own rear end. Because you start saying, why did I do this? Why did I do this? I didn't intend on doing. Yes, you did. Because you were playing with fire. What that bell name that be in the Paul? What that bell name that be on TV? What his name? Smokey Bell. What did Smokey Bell say? Don't play with fire. It don't take but one match to bring down a whole forest. So some of you sisters, you have put yourself in a situation by allowing this man to get in bed with you, and y'all start falling. And the next thing you know, nature took its course. You start feeling that lustful. You start feeling that lustful feeling. He started feeling that lustful feeling, and you do it. And to be realistic with you sisters and brothers, and what I'm about to say, you all know I'm telling the truth. What I'm about to say, I am telling the truth, and you could sign off on it. If I'm lying, I'm flying, and I'm sitting here in front of you. Most of the time, you sisters, you look at the man, and you look at this man, he look good, and he clean. He don't have nothing. And some of you brothers, you do the same thing. You look at these women, and you say, she look clean, she ain't got nothing. And sister, this man bring to you a communicable disease. But he look good, right? He bring you a community disease like STD or something like that, right? But he look good, right? Or he bring you the package. It's several packages that don't have no cure. And he bring it to you. But he look good, right? You didn't see no evidence. You didn't feel no bumps or nothing, did you? He smelled good. You didn't see that. But he had that stuff in him because he was dealing with a whole bunch of other women out there. And what I'm about to say again, sister and brother, you know I'm telling the truth. Most of the time, 9 times out of 10, if I'm lying, one of you said, Tony, brother Tony, you lying. Most of the time, when it comes to intercourse, there's no protection. Most men do not pull out no protection. Most women don't require protection. Now, I want someone to come out here and say, that is totally not true. Most men and most women, they think each other is clean, and they go ahead and do it without quote unquote the protection. Now, if I'm lying, tell me I'm lying. Worldly men do you like this. But if it was a spiritual man, he's not going to be putting that pressure on you. He might talk now, a spiritual man might talk to you about the physical part. He might do. He might be talking to you to get an interview. He might be doing an interview. How you doing, Brother Joe? He might be doing an interview with you to see what you think about that kind of stuff. But you see, a spiritual man, sister, if he's serious about you, he's not going to put you in a position where you feel pressure to have physical intimacy with him. He's not going to do that. That's not saying that he doesn't feel like he want to be physical with you. Because look at it, he's a man. And let me tell you, sister, this. If you a spiritual man, even if it's a preacher, this is some of you sisters need to understand it. Even if it's a preacher, before he's a preacher, he's a what? He's a man. Preachers are men. So if he's a man, you think just because he's a preacher, he doesn't have no desires? Come on now. Preachers have desires. So why do some of you people, when you find out that a preacher have done something, you get all bent out of shape and you can't believe it? They're man first. And preachers are subject to fornicate. Why do that surprise some of you all? They men. I'm not giving no excuses or nothing, but you got to understand the reality of it. They're men first. Some of you sisters, you go out with a man, quote unquote, a man of God. He still can fall. Brother Joe said, yeah, that's right, Brother Joe. Let me see what Brother Joe said. Yeah, that's what won't happen to me, and don't touch, God will give you. Okay, get you. Okay. Now, some of you sisters, let's talk about spiritual brothers and spiritual women. The man could be serious about you. If you don't want to talk at the dinner table tonight, my brother and sister, if you don't want to hear this, I'm not trying to spoil your appetite, but we're talking realistic. A Christian man, single, and a Christian woman can still have desires. If you happen to be an attractive woman, a man could see. And if the man is a Christian man, he may have a desire to be physical with you. And brother, there are some Christian women, they may have a desire to be with you, but it's wrong. How you doing, Sister Jamie? That's right, sex is on for marriage, but it's wrong. But the reality is, some of you sisters that's dating men, some of you sisters, when you date, you got to keep yourself where other people are around. You don't need to be having no private time. What do I mean by private time? You shouldn't be letting him you shouldn't let him sleep in the bed with you and you think it's something not going to happen. Or you shouldn't be getting in his bed and nothing not going to happen. You keep playing with fire, and like Smokey Bear said, you're going to get burnt. Sister James said, sex outside of marriage is sin against God and our own body. That's right, because what Sister James is saying, called our bodies are the temple of the Lord. So marriage, my brother, and marriage, my sister, it's supposed to be in marriage. That's how God wanted it to be. Now, if a man, even if you have children from the past, and the Lord wash you, it's just like you're a virgin. And the same thing, brother, if you have children and you're into the Lord, it's just like you're a virgin again. But the world is not going to look at you like a virgin. But from Christ's perspective, it's like you never done nothing, because he cleansed you from fornicating. Brother Joseph, and the preacher would talk just to her while still in the sermon. That's right, brother. So number 2, he will not deceive you into getting into your pants. Number 3, if a man is serious about you, sisters, he will, I said this last night, he will not hide you. He will go public. Listen to what I'm saying. If a man is serious about you, if he's serious and he say that you the one, he's not going to hide you from the public. What is the public? The public is his family. The public is his friends. His public is his associates. His public is he actually going out in public with you, and he's not going to a place where he could sit in the booth, in the back, in the corner, in the door. He's not surveying, seeing who's seeing him. He's comfortable being with you in public. He's comfortable showing public affection to you. He doesn't have a problem with holding your hand if you're into the hands. He don't have no problem with it. He doesn't have no problem embracing you. He doesn't, and I said this last night, I believe, he doesn't have no problem taking a picture with you. If you into social media, he doesn't have a problem taking a picture knowing that you're going to put it on your page the next day or maybe that same night. He doesn't have a problem with it. He doesn't care if the world knows. This man would tell the world that you are the one. He's going to let especially his inner circle know that you are the one, because he wants them to know more so than anybody. She is the one. He may have taken other women around his family and friend, but let me tell you about that. A lot of time when let me expound this to you. I'll not explain. A lot of time, if a man take you around his family, if he care about his family and friend, he may take a woman around them. When he take a woman around them, it may be potential. It's a possibility that it's potential. When I say potential, what do I mean? There's a possibility that he's considering doing it. But then something happened, then he's glad that he didn't do it. So if a man take you around his family and friend, that's a good sign. And like I also said last night, if a man does not take you around his family and friend and stuff like that, that doesn't mean he doesn't like you. He could be serious about you, but like I said, some women, you had a potty mouth. He know not to take that around his people. You You have questionable behavior. You like to twerk in front of people. You like to get drunk. Not only you have a potty mouth, you like to get drunk. You like to be loud. You like to be the person. It's not your party, but you make it your party. Or you dress in a way where it's not, you dress for other men. Not only do you dress for other men. You're not, I'm not saying walk around like you're known, but you're not dressing in a respectable way. But you want everybody to see it. That's why I'm telling you, sister, that's why a lot of men he might like you, but he know how his family is, he know how his friends is, and he know how his associates is. If they may have a position and stuff like that, he might like it, but he hoping that you change. So don't think, so like some women, they'll say, well, you must be ashamed of me. He ashamed of some stuff that you do. That's why he don't want to take you around there, because his family or friend, they might just say something to you straight up, because he know his family. So he won't cause no confusion. He doesn't do it. Now, but majority of the time, if you don't see or meet, if he don't take you out in public or introduce you to the public, you definitely just ain't the one. Sometimes, in most cases, you just not the one. You set yourself up to that. You gave him wifely privileges. And what does that mean, you gave him wife privileges? This is what you did. You put yourself in a position to play the wife. And when you put yourself in the position to play the wife, he played the part of a husband. Both of you could win the Oscars. And nobody didn't even have to tell you action or cut. You were doing a good performance. Some of you sisters, and I'm not talking about a lot of these worldly women, I'm talking straight up to some of you sisters, because I'm trying to help you. I'm not being down on you, but I'm trying to help you. Sometimes, sister, if you play the part of the wife, you have played yourself. So if you played yourself and this man doesn't marry you, and he go and y'all break up and you find out that he married someone else, why do you want to talk bad about the man to your family, to your friend, to your associate, and even go to public? And then you go to these media outlets and you let everyone know that he's a dog. You knew the man had fleas when you first played the part of a husband. When you played the part of a wife, you already knew he had fleas. You seen the fleas, but you ignored the fleas. Fleas represent red flags, so you knew he had fleas. Brother Joe said, God said to keep quiet about the woman that he blessed you to be together. Now, let me tell you something, my brothers and sisters. Listen up. When a man is really into you, he's not ashamed of you. Men don't hide. Since a lot of you understand the concept of kings and queens, men do not hide women that they see a future with. Men don't go around saying, that's my private life. I don't want nobody to know about my private life. Even some of these women, I don't want nobody to know about my private life. Let me talk about your private life, brothers and sisters. Even Jesus wants you to be public about him. And Jesus is into relationships. Jesus don't want you to hide him. Jesus, my brother and sister, he wants you to confess him before men. Brother and sister, Jesus don't want you to hide him. What did Jesus say? If you deny me before men and women, and these some chilling words, what Jesus said. If you deny me before men and women, I'm going to deny you before my Father and his angels. So play with fire, like Smokey Bell say, you're going to get burnt. That's right, Sister Yolanda. Worldly men hide women. Worldly men hide women. Let's say this, brother. Let's say this, sister. You're in the same city. You in the same city. Why does this man have to go way out of town to see you? Why he can't meet you locally? If this man said he cared for you, why he can't meet you locally? Why he can't meet you in a restaurant or something locally? Why he have to go through the drive-through windows at night and not see no one? Now, I got to be clean with you, brother and sister. I was a hypocrite when I was in college. Let me tell you this, because I want to tell you all that what you see now is a changed man. But when I was in college, I was a hot mess. Let me tell you, when I was in college, there was this young lady. She was not that attractive. I put it that way. She was not that attractive when you look at her. But she was fine. Now, keep in mind, you're talking about a 19-year-old Tony. I was 19, and I was ignorant at that time. That without knowledge. I'm 61 now, so I could look back at the old Tony and tell you about the old Tony. I was 19, and the woman, she didn't look that well in the face. She was like Leah in the Bible. You all know Leah. You all familiar with Leah. Leah was Jacob or Israel's first wife. Leah was not that appealing, but her sister Rachel, the Bible said that Rachel was easy on the eyes. What does that mean? She was beautiful. Sister James said, I truly look forward to my Ephesians 5 boys album to court me the proper way after the Lord say he can. Amen, sister. Amen, amen, amen. Now, what happened was this. And I should, I'm kind of ashamed to tell you all that, but you're looking for transparency, right? You're looking for transparency, so I'm going to be transparent. I was vain at that time. I was vain. I thought I was all that in a bag of chips when I was young. Why I thought I was a bag of chips and stuff while I was young, because at that particular time, I'm not Denzel Washington and all that kind of stuff, but it was easy for me to quote unquote pull women at that particular time. It was easy. And it wasn't like I was rich or nothing like that. I wasn't all that, but I thought I was, because how easy it was for me to pull women at that time. But this one particular one, she was not easy on the eye, but she was fine. So when we go out and stuff, I used to go through the drive-through windows and stuff, So it is one place a long time ago. It's this little, when we was young, we went somewhere, I forgot what, but that was this, and some of you have heard of this company before, Crystals, right? Crystals, what sell those little hamburger. It's like, and some of you all know it, it's called another name with some of White Castle. Some of you have heard of White Castle. So Crystal is like White Castle, right? So this one night, she was in my car, and it was a long line, and inside of Crystal, there was a whole bunch of people. But that during that time, with a whole bunch of people after games and the club, they used to go to Crystal or the Waffle House and all that kind of stuff. But Crystal, that way it used to be where I stay at. So anyway, we was in the car, and she said, "You must be ashamed of me." And I said, "What you mean I'm ashamed of you?" She said, "Why all the time we have to go through drive-through windows?" And I said, "Because it's quicker to get food." She said, "If you're not ashamed of me, park your car and we're going to Crystal." Boo. So I parked the car. And when we went into crystals, you doggone spippy. I knew a lot of people that was in there. A lot of people knew me. A lot of people knew her. But I'll call myself keeping on the down low. So my boys that I used to hang with in college, it was 3 of them sitting at the table. When I came into the crystal, 2 of them had their back to me. And one, he seen me when I come in the door. So when I came in the door, I was trying to act like, you all seen that movie called Grease. You remember that movie called Grease. You remember John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John in that movie. You remember when John Travolta, he was trying to play like he didn't know Olivia Newton-John. Her character name was Sandy, and his character name was Danny. You know, in front of his boys, he was trying to play real cool and stuff like, I don't know her. So that's what I was doing. I did the John Travolta, right? But anyway, it was wrong. I must say that it was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. But my boys at that particular time, you know, when they were doing all like that, they were laughing and stuff like that. But long story short, I was wrong. The point is, I wasn't serious about it. But as I got older, my brothers and sisters, as I got older and the Lord came into my life, I made some errors along the way. But as I was making errors along the way, I was learning. And the older I got, I started thinking that I need to start treating women better, more respectable. If I was not going to get serious with a woman, I need to leave them alone. That's where I was driving at. If I wasn't going to get serious, I need to leave a woman alone. So what I'm telling you, brother, if you're not serious about a woman, leave her alone. Don't date no one just because it's me, myself, and I, and you're trying to get something out of the woman. Leave them alone. Because if you deal with a woman and you're not straight up with her, and if you deceive the woman, and if it ends wrong, she's going to have this thing, and she might not realize it, where she look at all other men that all other men aren't no good. And a man could come behind you and he could sincerely like the woman, but because of what you did to her, you damaged her. Now she got these high walls, and it's hard for a better man to convince her that he really into her, not for what she got, but who she is. And I had to learn that, and I was wrong, and God forgave me for that. So again, a man, he would not hide a woman in public. As a matter of fact, he will honor the woman. He will honor the woman. He will hold the woman up high, but he won't put that woman in God's place, which leads to number 4. Well, if a man is really serious about a woman, guess what he's going to do? Not only will he let her know that he desires to marry her, not only will he not try to get in her pants and get her ultimatum, not only will he not hide her in public, but this man, number 4, he will put a title on the relationship. Sister Flo said she was ashamed of him. He wore a dress, an old fashion from 1971. He had afro but no hair in the crown. When he took that hat off in the restaurant, his hair was sticking up from the hat full of royal crown grease. Wore a 4-piece suit that was 5 size big. All right. But the man, he will put a title on the relationship. A man that is serious about you, sister, he will put a title on the relationship. When I say he will put a title on the relationship, he's not going to keep you in girlfriend zone. He's not going to keep you on meeting you after midnight hour when everybody's asleep, when your children sleep. If so, he could come through. He's not going to do that. This man going to put a title on you. What do I mean by a title? This man, remember, number 1, he's going to let you know that he's looking for a wife. Number two, this man, and then after he let you know that he want a wife, and he's talking about you, this man, he is going to what a lot of you women aspire to get. That engagement ring. When the righteous man, I'm talking about a righteous man, when a righteous man give you an engagement ring, when a righteous man give you that is a down payment showing you that he's serious and he's ready to move into the covenant part, getting married. So when a righteous man, not a sinless man, but a son of God, when he give you an engagement ring, he's not going to talk about marrying you. He give it to you this year, and this is the month of August, right? He's going to try to wife you down before August of next year. So normally a man, like I already say, a man already know whether or not you wife material. So he's going to try to lock you down with the quickness, right? So he's going to say, I'm your fiance, and vice versa. Because he's going to put you in, he's taking you off the market. When a man gives you an engagement ring, a righteous man, he is saying, I'm taking you off the market because you are going to be my wife. Now, a worldly man, and here it come, a worldly man will give you an engagement ring, but it's what kind of ring is it? It's a shut up ring. Worldly men will give you a shut up ring. So because you've been playing the good wife for all these years, you've been playing a wife for 15 years. So he's going to give you that engagement ring, and then 10 more years go by, and he's been with you 25 years. It's the shut up ring. Sister Jamie said, yes, Joe, great the spirit of women and follow the Lord lead. You don't want a Delilah. Amen. You want a Ruth or Esther. Amen, sister. But let me tell you, some of these guys, they give shut up rings. But a righteous man, he's going to claim you, and he's going to try to get you locked down within a year time. It doesn't take a long period of time for us to know whether we want to marry or not. I always say it. I said in the past, I'm saying tonight, and if the Lord allow me to live, you're probably going to hear me say it again. Men that serious, they want to lock you down and you become their wives. Real men, they don't look for girlfriends. Listen to what I'm saying, you sister. If you got a quote-unquote little boyfriend, if you sister living with a man, if a man living with you, if you call yourself in a relationship with a man, you are only playing a role. He's not serious. Men that have purpose in their life, they get serious and they commit. They commit verbally, and they don't have you guessing. They will put a title on you. After that, a man that is serious about you, he's going to purposely set aside quality time with you. If a man is serious about you, he is going to invest quality time in you. You're going to hear from him regular. You single brother and sister. You single brother and sister. I'm talking to both of you. The man, he's going to reach out to you regular. He's going to call you. He's going to text you. He's going to take you out. He's going to take you around. He's going to take you in public because he's not afraid. He's not ashamed of you. And in all those little slots that I just said, he's making time for you. Throughout the week, he's thinking about time with you. He's going to purposely set time for you. He's going to put some things in the wing because of you. He may tell his boys, I can't hang with you this weekend. I got to hang with her. Some of his boys might say, man, What, I mean, man, she must have got you whooped. No, she don't have me whooped. She's the one. Now, if he got some legitimate friends, they understand that. They understand that woman is important to him. Real friends understand that. Quality time. He would give you quality time. Now, he's looking for you to reach out to him sometime. Let me tell you this, sister. Some of you, not all of you, some of you may think that a man's supposed to do all the calling, do all the texting, do all the taking you out. Now, get a man a break. Just like that man invested in you, when you going to start investing in him? A man want to think that he's appreciated. So show that man appreciation. Nothing wrong with it. Number 6, you will become his best friend. If a man is serious about you after God, you will become his best friend. Not that guy that he used to hang with in high school or college or whatever, his boys. You going to move up on his priority list. He's going to share more intimate things with you than he does with his boys or anybody else. You become his best friend, especially when you're about to get married to him. You may he may love his mama, but once he lock in on you, he elevates you above his mother, especially when he get married to you. He loves his mama. He's not going to forsake his mama. But he understands that God is first and his wife is second. They're right, Sister Cynthia. He's going to make her his wife, and Brother Joe, she will do him some good and not evil. That's right. That comes from the book of Proverbs, Brother Joe. The Lord will bless them. That's right, Sister Jamie. He who found a wife found a good thing. So, sister, when this man is serious about you, if you're single and he moved towards engagement, he might not even want to get engaged. He might just say, let's get married. That's what I did. You see that woman? I always get this wrong. You see that woman right there? That woman right there. For those of you, this might be your first time at the dinner table. That woman right there, that's my wife. Her name is Tequessa. But for the sake of some of you that tap her name, just call her Cinderella. Can you all remember that? If you can't say Tequessa, if you can't remember her name, just say, oh, that's Cinderella. That's what some people say. When some people see me, they'll say, hey, Tony, how you doing? How's Cinderella doing? What's Cinderella doing? Call her Cinderella. Okay? That's what I call her. I hope Disney don't get at me for calling her Cinderella. But anyway, she become your best friend. And you, brother, supposed to become her best friend. Because the order is God is the head of Christ. Christ is the head of the man. The man is the head of the woman. Adam said, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, I should call a woman because she came from man. So, sister, if a man is really serious about you, listen to your brother Tony. If he's serious about you to the point of marrying you, because I jumped over the engagement, I went straight to the marriage. If he marry you, he should show you signs that he's promoting you. When a man is serious about you, sister, you will see that you're getting promoted from girlfriend status, if that's what he called you. He putting you graduate, because you see, when there's girlfriends and stuff like that, you still in grammar school, you still in kindergarten. When a man is serious about you, he jumped from kindergarten, he passed high school, and he jumped to college. And college represents engagement. he jumped to our engagement because he's serious about you. Then when he walk across the stage, he graduating, that means he getting married to you. But you his best friend. He share a lot of himself with you. And he doesn't have to be, if you husband and wife, he don't have to wait till y'all get into bed to talk. He have those intimate, close talk with you. Because, sister, you are the closest one to that man's heart besides the Lord. You see, the man give his heart to the Lord first, and then he give his heart to you second, and then all other relationships after that. So if a man is married, sister, you get promoted to the second most important person in that man's life after God. Then if you have children, your children come next, and then your parents, and then your siblings, and so on and so on and so on. If you notice, I would talk about relationship. I didn't say things. I said the God first, sister, then you will be second. Now, if you just engage to the man, let me put this clear. If you're not married to the man, don't have no problem with his mom, okay? Now, brother, there's a problem if you marry a woman and you still got your mama beyond in front of your wife. That's a no-no. Worldly men put their mama before their wives. You don't ignore your mother. You do not ignore. You acknowledge your mother and do what you can for your mother, but in your decision making, it's your wife first, your children, then your parents. Your parent being your mother and your father. So you got to understand, brother, if any of you brother listening to me, and some of you are married right now, if you're married, that guy that you hang around with, he shouldn't be your best friend. He could be your friend. You could have known him for years, but your wife's supposed to be your best friend after God, not your guy friend. Or if you got a quote unquote lady that you say your girlfriend, I mean, she's your friend, she's your best friend for years. Let me talk about that. Brothers and sisters, if you got a quote unquote best friend of the opposite sex, that no. That person that you're in a relationship with definitely come before that other person. Some of you brothers, if a woman tell you that you're in a relationship with, why are you spending so much time with her? Or on vice versa. Some of you brothers telling that woman, why are you spending so much time with him? Because that's my best friend. We've been friends since grade school. Nope. Nope. If you're serious about a person, your friends, not your best friends no more. That person that you're engaged to becomes your best friend after God. Then when you get married, that person's still your best friend. I do not go around talking about there's not one man, there's not one woman that can say that they hear me call them my best friend. Not one man that's walking on this green earth when it's clean, or no woman that's walking on this earth hear me say that you my best friend. Not one, zero. My best friend, even though we have disagreements, even though we piss off each other sometimes, is that one right there. She's my best friend after the Lord. Even though we bump heads sometimes, she's my best friend after the Lord. I love you, brothers. I love you, sister. You my brothers and sisters. But she's my best friend, not you. We brothers and sisters according to the spirit, but she's my best friend. Nobody come before her but God. Nobody but God come before that one. How you doing, Sister Greta? And that's what some of you sisters need to understand. If that man have not promoted you or elevated you to the second most important person, Yolanda say, that's why I'm not in a relationship with my ex. Thank for confirming I'm not being second to or to not a platonic relationship. Amen, Sister Yolanda. So, sister, I'm telling you, why, sister, should you lower the bar for yourself? I keep telling you, brothers, and I keep telling you, sister, that you are the sons and daughter of the Most High. You do not have to settle for all this crap what the world bring you. Some of you brothers, you selling for, you downgrading. As a matter of fact, you brother, when you dealing with a worldly woman, you coming down. You downgrading when you should be dealing with a Christian woman. She's not perfect, but she's a Christian woman. Some of you sisters, you downgrading when you deal with these worldly men. You're downgrading. Why downgrade when God is your Father and Jesus is your Lord and brother? Why are you downgrading? The Lord don't want you downgrading, my brother and sister. I'm not saying that worldly men and worldly women are trash. I'm not saying that. But you're supposed to go for the gusto. And the gusto is a man and woman that's a child of God. God only wants you in a long-term relationship with a man or woman that you're equally yoked with, not unequally yoked. You understand? You have to be equally yoked, not unequally yoked. Don't, oil and water never go together. Light and darkness never go together. Jesus and Satan never hangs at a party together. They don't party. Jesus say they don't party. They don't like each other. Jesus don't have nothing in common with Satan. So if Jesus doesn't have nothing in common with Satan, brother, what make you think you should have something in common with a worldly woman? And sister, what make you think you should have something in common with a worldly man? If the Lord Jesus don't have nothing to do with Satan. So everybody that comes from Satan is his sons and daughters. So why would you want to go deal with the Star Wars, the dark side? Why you want to deal with the dark side? Even Luke Skywalker didn't want to deal with Darth Vader. Even when Darth Vader said, Luke, I'm your father. And what did Luke say? No, 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 no. Luke didn't even want to deal with Darth Vader, which represents Satan. You remember Luke didn't always say the force, may the force be with you. So, my brothers, sisters, did you hear me? Brothers, remember Samson. Not Samson, brother, remember Solomon. Solomon had all 1,000 women, and there's no stretch. But what did the Bible say? Let me tell you exactly. I got it right here on paper. This is what happened. It said, and the Lord was angry with Solomon because his heart had turned from God, the Lord God of Israel, which appeared to him twice and commanded him of those things. What did the Lord command him? It said, you shall not go to them, neither shall they come into you, for surely they will turn your heart away after their God. Solomon cleaved to these in love. Solomon was in love with women from the dark side. Solomon was actually dealing with daughters of the devil. It's deep. All those women that Solomon was dealing with, they were daughters of the devil because they didn't believe in the same Lord Solomon believed in. Brother, when you get with a woman, she got to believe in the Son of God, Jesus Christ. She can't believe in all this hocus pocus stuff. She cannot be going by the horoscope saying, do you all match? If a woman, brother, if a woman come to you and she's saying, what's your zodiac sign? Mine Gemini. Oh, you a Leo? Or you a this? Or you a that? You don't deal with them. Sister, that go for you too. If a man come to you, talk about let's see, is your sign and my sign. I'm a star child, you're a star child. Let's see, can we roll together? That is demonic. That's called divination. That is satanic. If a man and woman said, let's go to the palm reader and see do the palm reader matches up. That is demonic. Let's go see, let's let somebody throw the tarot cards down and see. That is demonic. Anything outside of God putting you all together, my brother, sister, it is trash. God only deal with treasure. He don't deal with trash. Do you understand? Do you understand, brother? Do you understand, sister? Sister, I have given you 7 points. 7 signs that a man is serious about you. If you listen to me, but you were not, but you was hearing, you going to stay in a position of playing yourself. You're going to allow different men to come into your life, using you up and abusing you. I have just talked almost an hour telling you signs the man is serious about you. Brother, I have just talked an hour. If what I'm saying, and if you're not that man, work on being that man. Pray to God. Go into what God word, brother, and see what type of man you're supposed to be for a woman. You did not, brother, you did not come into this world. Your name was not Valentino. Your name was not Casanova. Your name was not King Solomon. Go to God's word, brother, and see what type of man you're supposed to be. Be a man of purpose. Be prepared when God bring the right woman to you. God is not going to bring the right woman to you when you're not together in him. Sister, when God bring a man to you, you got to be wife ready. You ain't got time to be no girlfriend. Sister, never put yourself in a situation where this my boyfriend. This my friend. You're going to have to give it those tight and stop playing the wives, some of you sisters. Stop playing that crazy game. A lot of you sisters, you're doing it to yourselves. And when that man leaves you, you want to talk bad about him. And like I told you, yes, you were dealing with a dog. That's why you still got fleas on you. Because you were dealing with a dog. Now you got fleas. You wonder why you be itching, don't you? You wonder why you was itching all the way. Fleas. Red flags. And you ignored it. Now you hate men. You hate men. You can't stand men. You say there aren't no good men. Yes, there are good men. You made a judicial decision. Sister James said lawlessness had nothing to do with living in the law. That's right. You made a conscious decision, sister, to put yourself in that situation. I told you, sisters. I said, when a man come up to you, you need to know if he's saved. You need to know what he wants from you. And you need to be thinking, how does this man make me feel and what I think about? And God going to answer all those 3 questions, but you got to know by going to God. I love you, brothers and sisters. Thank you for coming to the dinner table. I hope that you got fed tonight. Take some of this good soul food to other family members and friends. Those of you that are on the book, like, make comments and share if you don't mind. Those of you that are on the tube, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, make a comment and like. It's not costing neither one of you brothers or sisters nothing, okay? Because I want you to share this good soul food, okay? Thank you so much for coming to the dinner table. You can go ahead and leave now. I'll clean up the kitchen. It's all on me because I enjoy cooking for you, my brother and sister, okay? I really do. And thank you all so much for being at the dinner table. Lord willing, I will see you all tomorrow. I love you, brother. I love you, sister. Peace out.